Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching EXPOZ today, November 24, 2010, and it's 12:20 a.m. in Birmingham, Alabama. Today's topic: hidden government. We want to know what you're hiding, why you're hiding it, and why we, the people, that pay your salaries, don't know any more than we do know, and which is extremely limited. So they're keeping it from the citizens, and we want to know why. Just kind of ponder this list, and you can look up each item and see what I'm telling you. Wow, there are really no definitive answers for this. So we'll start with Roswell, New Mexico. Too many witnesses saw what happened. Government says a balloon. This is back in the 40s. Area 51. Some sort of testing / proving / experimental grounds. If you're caught near that place, you will be locked up. White Sands, New Mexico, the same there. Some sort of testing or proving grounds, but we don't know what they're testing, and it's off limits. 10 million acres in 9 western states recently acquired by the federal government. They already own most of the land out west anyway, so why do they need this? And it is off limits, period, to everyone. Coffins, caskets lined up along some southern route railroads, sitting on government properties alongside railroad tracks. And I'm going to jump way down here, and I won't read this one, number 14. I'm going to bring it up to number 6. Number 14, or number 6, welding shackles. I'm talking about shackles to bind you with inside of cattle cars and inside of box cars in Montana. I have the name of a man that took the job. When he saw what was happening, he quit, he left. And so large plots of land set up on government properties, again beside railroads, where a sidetrack will lead you to these properties. They're set up like prison yards. Double fences, barbed wire around the top, and has like an airport security type entry. No one knows why, or rather no one will tell you why. Bilderberg Illuminati meetings, they're becoming more frequent. Why? No one tells. No one wants us to know anything. But we do know that Bill Gates attend those meetings, and we do know that Bill Gates did say the cap needed to be at 8.3 billion on Earth, while others said no, the cap needs to be a lot less than that. So and they're filling hundreds of empty munition bunkers, food, water, shelter, meds, all the comforts of home, rather than put ammunition, our supplies that we may need for a war inside. Everything is gone. They've been used up in Iraq, but they're being filled with food and water and these sorts of things. Forcing farmers to grow annual crops. This means you have to plant every year, but the crops they grow do not reproduce seed. The government gives the farmer the seed to plant. What's going on there? Farmers can't talk, because if they do, they'll lose their jobs and perhaps jail. Chemtrails, I'm talking about chemical trails crisscrossing our skies. The lowest I've ever seen. I won't tell you specifically where it was, but it was somewhere in the southern part of Birmingham. And since I am a pilot, I do know that this chemtrail was less than 5,000 feet, and I never heard the plane go over. I even have it on film. HARP, Alaska. HARP, China. HARP, Russia. HARP, look it up. The government will give you limited information, but there are a lot of people out there that will tell you the truth. Plum Island, experimental island 2 miles off New York, Long Island. What are they experimenting on? Strange animals found on the beaches in New York. At least 2 different very strange animals that no one can tell you what they are, plus a human body. All these have been taken by the government. Pictures of 2 of the animals you can find on the internet. The human body, the one with 6 to 7 inch long fingers, they took it away. It's a human body. It wasn't human though. Crashes in Pennsylvania. Crashes in Roswell. Crashes in Russia. Military kept people a half mile away and transported these items under cover away on military vehicle flatbeds. Norway, strange Spyro. Not a stray missile that went up and was turning clockwise, midstream started turning counterclockwise. Not a missile. Spyro. Perhaps it was HARP. Same thing in Russia, same thing in China. Launch of the missile off the California coast, 35 miles to the south of California. As of today, our government refuses to comment other than to say, oh, you saw a contrail off of a jet at so many thousand feet, but it was between 2 layers of clouds and it was going up and it wasn't traveling at a level altitude of 35,000 feet. Again, I know. Russia, explosion 1921, cover up. At this particular spot, there are more foreign and more, there are plants that we don't know about, plants we've never seen before. And the largest number of new plants and new crickets or frogs and little animals, up to 70% of the new of these things being found on Earth are being labeled in this very spot in Russia, where this bottom supposedly, or meteor supposedly blew up 10 miles up in the sky. I don't believe it. Holes in the North Pole and the South Pole. Google Earth has smeared these over. You cannot see them, but they're there. Look them up. You have 2 credible people, or many, but 2 that can tell you a lot more about these. Mars smeared over, so we cannot see what's on Mars. There have been something there. There have been buildings. There are still some pictures you can find. Also on the moon. We're not the only people that's been there. Marfa Lights. This Marfa, Texas, Lower Texas. People does not know what it is, but I can tell you one thing. There's an old military airport in line of sight between where you stand and where the lights are. And it's not been blotted out by Google Earth. Not yet. But there's a huge airport with over mile-long runways, totally abandoned, and you can't see it from the road, only from the sky. Thousands of unexplained craft. Federal government says all the weather balloons. These are like the ones over Arizona. Weather balloons. Non-controlling, concealing our borders. There has got to be a reason for our government to be giving a green light to all these people coming across. There's got to be a reason for it. And as of today, Obama wants to move the soldiers that he has put there to post. He wants to move them out. Something's going on there, people. And one more, number 25. There are several protected areas now off limits out west. Many of these protected areas are off limits. All are off limits. And no one's talking about them. No one's answering questions about them. But the government knows, and they know because they patrol them and keep you out. That's 25. I'll get 25 more in the next day or so. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.